In this video, we're going to go through the exponential laws, so rules for dealing with exponents. In topic 4 of this course, so a while from now, we're going to deal a lot with exponents. So really right now, we're just going to briefly look at the 6 rules, but focus on 2 that are really important early in the course, and then we'll look at them all again in more detail later. You've probably seen these rules before, so it's probably just review, but if it's not, we have them all listed here for you. The first rule, if you're multiplying two terms that have the same base, that's the key here, the base is the same, a and a, then if they're multiplied together, we add the exponent. If they're divided, again, same base, then we're going to subtract the exponents. If we have something raised to a power and then raised to a second power, well, we multiply the exponents together. If we have two terms that are multiplied here, this also works for divided, even though it's not written. So multiplied or divided, then we can bring the exponent in to each of the terms inside. So that's for multiplication or for division, not addition subtraction. I'm actually going to write that over here, that this is not a rule, because this is probably the most common mistake that students make here. A plus b to the power of n does not mean a to the power of n plus b to the power of n. That is not true. Never, 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 never. I can't emphasize enough. As soon as you see a plus sign and an exponent, you need to be much more careful. You notice all these rules that are listed here are for multiplying and dividing, never adding and subtracting. So make sure you keep that in mind. Rule 5 then, anything to the power of 0 is 1, provided a is not 0. 0 to the power of 0 is a special sort of thing. So this rule applies when a is not 0. And similarly here, provided a is not 0, because then we'd have division by 0, which we know now we can't have, then as long as a is not 0, if we have a negative exponent, we can write the reciprocal. Remember, 1 over, that's reciprocal. So negative, we flip it, or take the reciprocal, or put it in the bottom, however you want to remember that. So there's the rules. There's a couple of examples worked for each rule for you to look at. And then there's 2 examples at the bottom of your page that are worked out as well, and they're using Rule 1 and Rule 2 because those are the 2 rules we really want you to be focused on right now. Like I said, in Topic 4 we'll look through the rest of them in more detail. Let me just write another example here for you so you can see one. Let's say if we have 3xy squared multiplied by 7x cubed y to the minus 4 and z to the 0. If we need to multiply those, well, we're going to multiply the number parts together. So 3 times 7 is 21. X and x are the same base, so when we multiply them together, we add the exponents. So x to the 1 plus x to the 3 is x to the 4. It's not listed above, but x just means x to the 1. If there's no exponent, it means 1. So that's what we have there. Y squared times y to the minus 4, so we're going to add the exponents. So that becomes y to the minus 2. There's no z here. There's z to the 0 here. Remember, z to the 0 means 1, so we can just put 1. We will do one more simplification because we have a negative exponent, and we never really want to leave negative exponents. So anytime we have a negative exponent, we can put it in the denominator. So we can either write it this way altogether, or at this point we would be just as happy if you did it that way. Same thing, whichever you feel more comfortable with. So that's the multiplication rule. We actually also looked at the negative rule and the power of 0 rule here. So these rules do get used interchangeably and all together. Maybe we'll do one more example with division. Let's say we have 2xy over 4 x squared. There we go. Well, 2 over 4 can reduce to 1 over 2. X over x squared, well, we need to subtract the exponents. So 1 minus 2 gives x to the minus 1. Y on top, there's no y on bottom, so we just leave y. And let's move that up to make sure we're seeing everything. In that case then, we get y is the only thing left on top, and we're going to take the 2 and the x into the denominator. Why did we take the x down? Again, it's a negative exponent. Textbook is full of examples like this. I'm sure your teacher has more if you need more practice. Make sure you understand how to do these and can work through them. Everything we do in algebra, the whole section at the end of the course, is all about these rules. They show up a lot, so you want to be as familiar as you can be with them. So more practice now means it'll be easier for you later. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time to work through some algebraic expressions.